A lot of this podcast is about filling our cups. And well, boy, do I have a new way to fill your cup, this time with plant based milk. So, Almond Cow is a product that I was introduced to recently, and I couldn't be more excited to be collaborating with them. Almond Cow makes the experience of making plant based milk at home simple and fun. There's no straining involved, and it takes less than a minute. It's an awesome little machine that, for me, helps me make milk at home budget friendly, and healthy. And as I focus more on being my best, filling my own cup, Almond Cow is one of the first things I think of each day. So, want to try it for yourself? Almond Cow is offering a special code for you that gives you $25 off your purchase of $200 or more. You can shop at almondcow.co, that's co, not com, and use code YourGoodNews at checkout. Hi, and welcome to the Your Good News podcast with me, your host, Katherine Getty. Each Thursday, I'll give you the scoop on the good news coming out of Washington and how you can get involved with this thing called democracy. Welcome back to another episode of the Your Good News podcast. It is truly hard to believe that we are already at Thanksgiving. And in that spirit, I wanted to take a moment to be grateful for each of you, for this podcast, for joining along in this journey about learning more about the U.S. government. And this year, I felt honored to be able to close out season 1 and transition into season 2 that has really drilled down into learning more about the U.S. government and sharing things that I am so passionate about each and every day with all of you. Because I recognize that division and meanness and name calling can be what we think of government, but I see it living in DC, how the people that work here are just trying to create good policy, and how even if we disagree, we don't always have to be disagreeable with one another, because more often than not, I will see a Democrat and a Republican catching up after a long day. Now, will they have battle royale in air quotes during the day based on the policy issue? Maybe, but they can also set it aside at the end of the day. And with that idea in mind, I wanted to give you some things that I think about when I'm going home, because politics is always something people want to talk about. And given that it is fresh on people's minds, I wanted to offer up some things that I try to do. Being honest, I don't always succeed at, but this is a good reminder for me that we can, like I said, disagree and not be disagreeable. So first, don't anticipate what the other person is going to say. Actively listen. I tend to do this really fun thing called anticipate a fight. Maybe you do it too, before it happens. And it's kind of one of the worst things because you're already decided what you're going to say in response versus actively listening to maybe where they're coming from. Because when you're already inserting the idea of what you're going to say in response, you've taken away the conversation. It's now just spewing against one another. Who can ratchet it up more? It's not going to be good for anyone. Second, take time for yourself. We are all busy during the holiday season and pulled in 1,000 different directions. But as a good friend once said, you can't pour from an empty cup. So maybe it's a walk, maybe it's watching your favorite TV show in the morning, maybe it's a longer shower. However you need to take time, take those minutes, because when you feel your best, you are more likely able to listen, to be a part of the conversation, be a part of the joy. Third, take a break. Don't let the elections or insert issue take away from the time you have with your loved ones. Everyone has a different relationship with their family members. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes you probably have a little anxiety going home for it. Some of you are like, I don't even know how to describe my family because they're my chosen family. Whoever you call as family, take a break. Don't let the elections, don't let the issue steal away from that time, because time is precious. We all know it. We all have those moments where like, man, I wish I hadn't said X, or I wish I had more time with this person. So don't let one election define how you have to spend this time. I also think that holidays are hard enough for a variety of reasons, like I said before. So don't let our government that is meant to serve you becomes something you obsess over. Government is a feature of good. Government can create good, but it's not the only thing. So focus on how you can create good in your own space and take that break for yourself. Fourth, stay present. This likely goes back to the first point of not anticipating, but staying present can mean taking the time you need, taking a break, leaving the convo, re-entering it. Because I think being really present with the moment is hard to do. I know I struggle with it all the time. And I think just as you can remember, every person has their own experience, their own reason for why they feel very strongly about candidate or party or policy issue. Just be present in that moment and listening and hearing. I hope these little reminders help. Lord, I know I need to remember them today and always as we enter the holiday season or a stressful time. So that is it for today. Don't forget to don't anticipate, take time for yourself, take a break, stay present, enjoy your day, enjoy American Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If not, take a moment to be grateful for whatever is happening in your life. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Your Good News podcast. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit subscribe, leave a review. Find me on Instagram. I share more about this episode and what you're going to hear in the future. And as always, tune in next week for another episode of the Your Good News podcast.